Again, we also want to honor the Kibaki family because despite many challenges and temptations, you never allowed yourselves to be misused by entrepreneurs to spoil the name of your father and yourselves. Kibaki is gone. Kibaki spoke very little and did much. Most of us are learning from him. Nowadays, I only talk once a week. Going forward, I will talk after 2 weeks, then 1 month, because he spoke very little and did a lot. And I think you don't need to speak much. You just work and be seen.
ETV Africa News at this hour.
Mzee wetu Kibaki, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, distinguished guests, panelists and professors who have talked to us, and all the people who have come here for this memorial lecture and luncheon for the greatest president of our times, Mzee Kibaki. Good afternoon. I'm really very honored that I was invited to come for this lecture, and I want to thank the professors who spoke here to us about the leadership of Mzee Kibaki. Mzee Kibaki is a legend. He's a reference point in matters of governance. And anybody who talks about governance in this country, there is reference to his leadership. He left a legacy that remains permanent, that is visible, and that is felt. His greatest achievement was the economic restoration and transformation of this country. And because I'm somebody who listens to the ordinary people, they tell me, don't tell us about economic growth, don't tell us about economic survey, don't tell us the economy has improved from this percentage to this percentage. We want to feel the growth the way we felt it when Kibaki was president. Because there was money in circulation, there was infrastructural development that is feasible, and people say they don't want to be told theories. They want to feel economic growth the way they felt it when Kibaki was president between the year 2002 and 2013. I want to really acknowledge the culture of hard work that the late president inculcated in all of us, asking people to work hard. I remember when he was sworn in as president and he made his first basic via, and those of us from here were really excited to welcome our son home, and we were lining up everywhere waiting for him. And when he reached Karatina where I was, he didn't come out of the vehicle. And he lowered the window by a few inches, and then called the PC, akamuuliza bwana PC, nini inaendelea hapa? Hii watu yote, it was around 11. Nani nachuna majani chai? Nani kwa shamba ya kahawa? Hapana. Na tutaharibu. Tukiendelea namna hii tutaharibu. He put the window up and drove to Ulaya. Nobody ever came again to meet Kibaki. One walienda kumshamba. That is how this country is functioning. Yeah. The culture of hard work. I want to say that many people today who are solid in this country, I included, we made our money during the time of Kibaki. Because government documents were respected. If you had an LPO issued to you from government, you could walk into a bank and get 50% as LPO financing. because you do the work and you get paid. Today, if you go to an LPO to Abama,
Jesus.
nobody will talk to you. He really dignified government contracts by making sure that contracts were only given when money was available and there was budgetary support. These great men pushed taxation, and we want today, as we remember him in a very fond manner, to say there's nothing wrong with taxation. And Kenyans cannot be accused of refusing to pay taxes, because Kibaki did it. Lipa kodi, ujitegemee, and people paid taxes, and they didn't complain because they saw a corresponding development and services. Kenyans don't have problems with paying taxes, but Kenyans have a big problem in paying taxes that they cannot see what the money is doing. So we want to ask our brothers now in government to know that Kenyans are not complaining about overtaxation because they don't want to pay tax. They have a problem of paying taxes that are misappropriated, that are not used appropriately. And Kibaki is a living testimony that Kenyans are willing to pay taxes, but they want to see a corresponding service and development. Kibaki respected institutions. Ambassador Muthaura is here, and Ambassador, we want to salute you. Kibaki would not have succeeded without the support of the bureaucracy that you led. But he also allowed you to work, because we know he allowed people to work.
Yes.
Because if you have a supporting system that supports you, it can only be effective to support you if you allow them to work. Kibaki respected institutions, and going forward that must be the way for this country, so that institutions can work. Again, we must remember him for the 2010 Constitution, and all those who say that they remember him fondly. The way to dignify his legacy is to implement the Constitution and follow it letter and spirit. Because when we do that, we have a good country. Kibaki spoke very little and did much. Most of us are learning from him. Nowadays, I only talk once a week. I'm a good student of Kibaki. Going forward, I will talk after 2 weeks and 1 week, a month, because he spoke very little and did a lot. And I think you don't need to speak much. You just work, and work can be seen. And if you remember free primary education, it was real. Today it isn't. And Kibaki didn't have to talk about it. He did it, and it was there for everybody to see and to feel. Let me, Judy and your siblings, thank you, because many people do not appreciate the place of family in leadership. There's no leader who can succeed if you don't have family support. The fact that Kibaki was a very successful leader in this country speaks volume of the support that the family gave him. And therefore, as we celebrate him, we want to honor the family for standing behind your father, supporting him at home, and allowing him to dedicate his life to the service of this great republic. Again, we also want to honor the Kibaki family because despite many challenges and temptations, you never allowed yourselves to be misused by entrepreneurs to spoil the name of your father and yourselves. Kibaki is gone. His integrity and that of his family remains up. Nobody has ever seated Kibaki and his family in this country. And we know the temptations around the family by people who want to use proximity to power. So you have really dignified your father because his name is good, and nobody has ever thrown him into anything that would have looked conflict of interest or commercial interest for his tenure in State House. He did a good job, And we want to really salute the family because that is really the way to go. Dr. Mukisa Kitui, we are envious of the cabinet you served at Kibaki that you are allowed to speak. Justin Muturi and I can tell you, in the cabinet we serve, it's only me that will speak. That is why we have to be edged out. The rest are flower girls. And praise and worship choir. So we would have wanted, you know, if things could reverse and we served at Kibaki would have enjoyed. Because he would have allowed us to contribute, to make meaningful contribution to the management of the affairs in this country. Haji, I've heard you correctly about the place of DP in Uvaya, but I'm more concerned not even about DP in Uvaya. I am more concerned about the quality of leadership in that constituency that was led by Mike Kibaki. Graduate of the London School of Economics, the greatest president of all times, a man who represented Uvaya with wisdom, a man who was a good debater. Then, when he was gone, the replacement of Mike Kibaki, like today, it's a shame. Member of Parliament who never speaks in Parliament at all, who hasn't made any contribution on the floor of the House. And Uvaya now is a pale shadow of the Uvaya under Mike Kibaki. Coming this general election in 2027, we shall talk to the people of Uvaya to dignify the late Mike Kibaki by looking for a quality legislator who, even if he cannot measure up to the level of Mike Kibaki, can be there 60-70%. But the present situation in Uvaya is embarrassing and is very demeaning to the late Mike Kibaki and his family. And Uvaya people are crying for change, and we'll be having conversation with them so that they can look for quality leadership that can be able to hold the name of that great old man in high repute. So mimi nimeshukuru sana, tuko hapa na viongozi wengi ambaye sijui hadi tunataka tuwapatie, unataka kufanya namna gani introduce. Yeah, tuko na the Honorable Eugene Omalo, kiongozi wetu. His late brother was vice president to Mwai Kibaki.
Yeah.
Na alikuwa na kizungu mingi sana. Hata huyo ana kizungu mingi. But he served Mwai Kibaki well. So tunasema jambo.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Kibaki family, the DP leadership,